Good morning, afternoon. I think it's afternoon. It's Saturday. I'm happy to be on here with you guys, and today's going to be the first day of a new approach to how I interact with my dolls when it comes to the hobby, like the online hobby. It's not something unique to me or anything revolutionary, but I've got lots of babies. A lot of these dolls come on here for the box opening, and that's kind of it. And I also shop for a lot of dolls. I definitely want to shift to appreciating and enjoying the dolls that I have. And I have enough dolls to do that to where they're practically new. So I'm starting today with this gorgeous baby. This is the Erica sculpt. Eric or Erica, depending on how you know how the doll is presented. This one happens to be a girl who I've named Antonyia, and she was so the sculptor is Joanna. Joanna, I say Kazmierczak, but I know that that's not perfect, but Joanna K. And she was painted and rooted by the lovely Elena Yadrina, who is a phenomenal and lovely Russian artist, prototype artist. This is not a prototype doll, though. I haven't had a doll of hers. You know, I pined after her dolls for a long time when I first started collecting, and I got one. The sculpt wasn't for me, so it had been years since I had one of her babies in my collection. I got this girl, like, it's coming up on a year. It's not quite a year, but I may have had her for a bit. This is the outfit she came home in. And that's mostly because I just love her in this outfit. Look how she curls and she poses with her little curly legs. They're also adorable unfolded. So really, really neat part of the sculpt. So I'm going to change Antonyia and show you a bit of her details as we go. I will probably change her and then take the camera down to show you, because she'll be wearing a sleeveless outfit and stuff. So Elena is one of the artists who is kind of amongst that group of, I would say, high-end or, you know, really, yeah, I would just say, I mean, to simplify it, high-end would be probably the closest term in this hobby. Artists that just wowed me in the earlier years, and still does, by the way. So Irina, Svetlana, Elena, and Anastasia were kind of like the first four that had that that I learned about, that I just absolutely had a magic about it. And then, of course, Joanna's sculpting is phenomenal. Her dolls have a way of falling beautifully no matter how they're placed down, so posing very naturally. She sculpted Amelia, who I have as Veda. Of course, that is a timeless, very sought after, sold out, limited edition sculpt from, like, a long time ago. 2012, I want to say. I could be wrong. Could be off on that, but not by much. And then Lulu was another big hit. I have a Lulu, my Lucy Monet. And I have Pascal, who I painted, also by Joanna. And all amazing, well-known sculpts. But look at this. I'm going to show you a little bit of how her limbs work together. With no clothes, just on her cloth body. You can see the versatility and the realism of the sculpt. She's also weighted very nicely by her artist. Okay, the outfit I've chosen for her came home with several beautiful outfits that were a part of her box opening last year. And since we are in the 80s now, it is, you know, for all intents and purposes, summer days. I'm going to put her in this sleeveless romper with this beautiful embroidered floral pattern and just some simple frilly socks. We'll take a look at her painting and stuff before I put the socks on her, since I'll have them off already. So what do I feel about this doll? Because that's one of the things I want to talk about. So when I make a decision, you know, artists make a lot of dolls. You can't go for all of them, even if you want to. But you don't always want to go for all of them. So what is it that made me jump for this particular doll? How did I know that this was the right one? Well, having learned my lesson from a beautiful artwork from a sculpt that just wasn't one that I wanted long term, I like to make sure that I have loved multiple versions of the sculpt. That makes a little bit of a safer purchase. So I definitely had that with the Erica sculpt from Joanna. She was presented on Elena's channel, you know, or profile on Instagram and on Facebook as well, with a very precious, delicate kind of presentation. The music and the posing and the just a sweetheart, and just that the energy that I'm saying energy, but the styling maybe might be a more accurate word, but whatever that impression that comes with a doll also plays into a decision to purchase. Not all the time. There are times where you are looking at poorly done photos but if you are experienced, you know what you're looking at. Sometimes you can spot something that's not conveyed in photos. But in this instance, it is important to make sure that I think the photos aren't misrepresenting the beauty and the detail of the doll. But that will draw me to one. So when picking out an Elena doll, and knowing it's the right one, right? Because her dolls are not budget babies. So how do you pick the one that is, you know, quote unquote worth it to you? That's another part of it, is the styling. I watched the videos, I watched them over and over again, and this baby is just peaceful and gentle, kind of, I say, timeless. So the sculpt, the painting, how the artist, here's one way to put it, how the artist envisioned the doll. I think what the imagination of the artist is sometimes conveyed in how they present the doll when it's completed. I'm going to take this out for now. Right? So what I mean by that is, you know, if a baby was created, you know, maybe not this kind of a sculpt, but with kind of like a goofy, playful, or a serious, or kind of like a scamp, like naughty energy if it's a toddler one, or there's just kind of like a way that the outfits that are selected and maybe the poses that are done that can convey what the artist was envisioning in their creation. So yeah, so it makes sense to me. I'm going to take the phone out of this holder and see if I can't capture some details. We'll see how we're doing with lighting. Looks pretty good. So here on her arm, first of all, you can see, I think pretty clearly the modeling, which is that red kind of, it shows a circulation. You see it in your skin when you're cold. And the veins and the going into capillaries. And here's her nails. Don't look at mine. With her nail beds and subtle nail tipping. And her hands are pinker than her arms, which is more a trait of the younger babies. And if you look at her outer arm, you can see also lots of visible mottling. I love the purple hues in her eyelids and of course the little capillaries. Beautifully done eyelashes, very realistic and subtle. She has a little blemish on her chin. You can see her mouth. Perfectly rooted eyelashes and beautifully rooted hair with kind of complementary painted tiny hairs around the hairline. She's well varnished. It's a matte varnish, and you can maybe even pick up the skin texture, you can see. And look here under her chin, the veins. And here's her other hand. Much of the same detail on this side. And of course her beautiful legs. See the sculpting, those little feet. So I find her very realistic. She has a warm skin tone. I love the visible veins. And you can see even in her cheeks, maybe you would call them broken capillaries, but the capillaries in her cheek. So to me, this doll is very realistic in a very warm tone way, because as we look at some of my other dolls, when we go through the collection, you'll see that there are others that are very pale or more in the cool tones. If you set them side by side, the contrast would be stark, but on their own, they contain their extreme realism in that artist's style of depicting it. So maybe we'll do some comparisons as well. So we've got these little frilly socks for finishing off her look. We'll get some pictures of her today also to put up on the Instagram. But just one more thing. See, even the toy selection, the Lovey selection, the accessories, not for all artists, but for some artists, whether it's in my imagination or not, I feel like that even goes into the atmosphere that's being created around this, fake baby. So her the rooted hair is extremely realistic. Again, it is mono-rooted, one hair at a time. Might be difficult to show in the camera, but I'll try here. And then the swirl pattern and the hair growth pattern is also really, really amazingly done. So I think that this will get you the angle we're looking for. It's always been magic to me, but it's been about a year and 4 months since I tried my hand at painting for the first time. And so I would say even more now, you know, it's like you learn how to do certain things, but then when you see a certain level of skill, you have it perhaps, or I'll say I have perhaps even a better concept of how talented the artist is by what I'm unable to do. But there she is. So that is Antonyia. Again, this is the Eric/Erica sculpt from Joanna K. And painted and rooted by Elena Yadrina. You can see more of her dolls, past dolls, and future creations on her Instagram page. She does have an Instagram. And that's about it for now. So I hope you love her. I absolutely love her. I look at her every day. She's right in the center of my collection cabinets where I sit in my recliner in the morning with my coffee. So I see her every single day. I love this color on her. I'm so glad that I did finally change her. It's another gorgeous outfit. So and seasonally appropriate as well. All right, so that's baby one. I hope everybody's weekend is off to a good start and that things are going well for you. And if they're not, I'm definitely sending out my love and wishes for an easier time for you. So that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. There she is. Sorry, your head was cut off. That's it, but we'll be back soon. Bye for now.